Stats in college football are something that everybody in this sport goes off of, especially when looking at recruits. There's a lot of people that don't even look at film, and they only look at the advanced analytics and the stats of these players going against various teams and being put in various situations. When breaking down quarterbacks and wide receivers, sometimes these can be very useful tools, but when specifically looking at running backs, these are some of the most misleading numbers you could possibly use. Using a player's yards, touchdowns, or even yards per carry can lead you down a rabbit hole to a player that looks amazing and he looks like a gold star, but ends up being a player that either is a backup in the league or never sees the field. Emmett Johnson is the focal point of today's video, and sadly, he's just catching a bad end of a stick when this is more of a general talk about stats compared to film. But Emmett Johnson had a fantastic final season at Nebraska. He's a 5'11", 200-pound back, and he had 1,400 rushing yards with 12 touchdowns, averaged 5.8 yards per carry, had 46 receptions, ran a big route tree, and had 370 receiving yards with 3 receiving touchdowns. These stats look phenomenal on paper, and you would think this is going to be one of the best backs in the entire class. He has more yards than Jeremiah Love did this year, who's the #1 running back in this class. He had more touchdowns than a guy like Bucky Irving did in the past. He had more yards per attempt than a bruiser like Cam Scatterbo, and he had more production than NFL starters did in college in the Bucky Irvings, Kyron Williams, and Devon Achance of the world. So when you look at numbers on the surface, this guy looks phenomenal, but generic stats like this are often very misleading. That is why in all of my videos, you've seen it before, and all the videos going forward that I make, the primary focus is the stats on teams, aka the rushing grade defense of a team played against, the offensive line grade, as well as the team rushing grade. I think grading one specific player in college, there's so much variance that truly there is no exact numbers that you could be looking at to say this is successful and this is not. Film trumps all in college, and that's what we always dive into. Just going off the numbers last year, if you were to look at a guy like Quinshon Judkins, you'd be misled to see this is a middling back. He might not be able to take a full workload in the NFL level, but we all saw Quinshon Judkins is now one of the better running backs and proved himself to be a true starter. On the opposite of that, a lot of people, especially in the dynasty community, were fooled by Caleb Johnson. There was a large majority of people that looked at these numbers that you see on your screen and saw green and yellow charts saying he could be the next stud. Little did they know he would barely even take snaps his rookie year in the NFL. One more example from the 2025 class, Woody Marks' chart is almost entirely red. Was he the best back in the NFL? No, but he was a big contributor for this Texans offense when they had nothing else going for them. Even further back, guys like Blake Corum, who's now a big contributor for the Rams. And as we all know, guys like Bucky Irving and Tyrone Tracy had major concerns coming out in the draft, and they have proved everyone wrong. But we all could have seen this coming if we just looked at some tape. So today we're going to break down Emmett Johnson's video, as he's going to be the focal point of this entire segment, and go over the complete stats that we've been looking for. If you look over just his offensive line grade this season, Nebraska ranked number 10 in offensive line rushing grade. Why is this important? Because when you have a good line to run behind, that makes your life 10 times easier, and you should be putting up big numbers with one of the best offensive lines in the entire country. There are 136 D1 teams. If you go to D1 AA, there's even more than that, but right now we're sticking with D1A. There's 136 teams to choose from, so these are where these teams grade in rushing defense that he played. He played 4 teams that were 90th or worse in rushing defense. Michigan State was 88th, Northwestern was 91st, Maryland was 83rd, and even Iowa and Penn State were not great programs this year and were 66th and 59th. The best defense he played in rushing grade was Michigan, who was 19th. So of course we're going to go over that film, as well as we're going to dabble in some Northwestern, and we're going to do the worst team possible, which was USC, who was 130th. If you guys have watched my film breakdowns before, you know we don't go over the entirety of the game, as this would be an hour-long video, but we're going to go over some key plays in 3 different games to make sure we break down the highs and the lows of Emmett Johnson's game, so you guys get a full recap of exactly who this player is by the end of the video. Starting with the first play in the Michigan game, obviously we're going to see this is a 4-man front and a light box, as there's only 6 defenders in the box. So we're going to take this run every single time. As you can see, as this develops, there is a clear hole that we should be looking towards. Is his head in the hole? Yes, but he's easily managed by the right guard right now. You have help going up to the second level. This is a clear break to the next level. They're clearly manned across the field. The next closest defender will be this safety or this safety going to the deep half. What does Emmett do? Immediately bounces it outside. Is it a horrible read? No, because he does have some daylight out here. But why do we not love running to the sideline every single time when we have a clear hole up the middle? That's because the sideline is not always your friend as a running back. This will officially limit your true potential game because you have way less room to work with. Whereas if you work to the middle of the field, you can now bounce to the right and or the left. Try to make something happen. If you could split it up the middle with your speed, that's better than anything as well. So he bounces to the sideline, has a great crease. Number 30 makes a great play here to get off the tackle. Not able to get him down with an arm tackle, but they do get him after 10 yards. Still a great run here by Emmett. It's a very almost DeAndre Swift-like play where he makes the wrong read, but still gets a ton of yards, so it looks good. But we have to be realistic here. If we're at the next level, these gaps are going to close a lot faster, and you have to hit the truck size hole that we are looking for where the play is supposed to go. But overall, again, we're going to play the whole thing. Still a great run nonetheless. Now, here's a play where Emmett doesn't get the ball, but it's a good example of he's a great route runner. And I think at the next level where he will be able to be used is more of that pass down, catching work, the third down back, almost like the Samaje Perines of the world, the Jerick McKinnons of the world. Again, he's an undersized running back compared to standard. He's 199 pounds. And again, we don't know exactly what he's weighing at the combine. We'll see what that exact weight is. But as of right now, we're just going off the 199 weight that we know as of right now. So he's going to have to be good in the receiving game, as we all know. And it looks like he runs really good routes. This one route out of the route tree, already a quick 5-yard out. Looks pretty good on the surface. So we love to see him having a deeper route tree than most running backs already, just by being utilized in the slot. Now here's an inside zone play for Emmett. Now again, when we're talking about inside zone, I'll break this down every video. I always do. When you're running inside zone, your target is the inside hip of the center's ass. Why? Because you're going to have a bang opportunity through the 2 or 3 hole. You're going to have a back opportunity to cut it back, or you're going to have a bounce. So if it's filled across the board, pause. You're going to want to bounce it. If the defense slants or flows to the side of where the ball carrier is running, you want to back that as the holes will fill up because, again, it's based off where the defense aligns is how you block zone. So as we see here, there's going to be a quick speed motion out. There's clearly no back. The head of the defensive lineman is inside. There's nowhere really to go up the bang, so we're going to try to bounce this outside. And he doesn't do that. He just tries to take 1 yard. Not the worst case in the world, but we've cleared daylight to where if we can bounce this outside, we have 1 corner defender out here as 6 is getting blocked down. I would love to take him one-on-one on the outside compared to just putting his head down into 15 defenders and getting 0 yards. Another play where I just question his vision a ton. Obviously, we have the opposite pulling guard here. We have daylight to the outside, but more so, we have this back straight through the hole. We have this 6 hole wide as day, right, to run through. Let's run through it. Let's meet this linebacker. Let's get 4 or 5 yards, or let's try to bounce us outside. We have some outside blocking. We have some room. We're on the boundary hash. Let's hit that hole. And instead, we just go nowhere. We just put our head down straight into him. Now, again, obviously, you see, I can't tell if this is a pulling H-back or a pulling tight end. I can't tell. Maybe it's just the same thing. Yeah, it looks like a pulling H-back right here, right? So he's going to pull, kick out, number 4. He doesn't spill anything. Obviously, you have some pressure here, but he's still a good 2 yards away from that defensive tackle. Use your jump cut technique and get here. Like, get there. If not, use your speed. The big thing everyone hypes Emmett on is his speed and his agility and being able to make plays with. Make a play. Instead, we're just running for a 2-yard gain when we had a lot more on the table. So again, I would like to see more of the vision being utilized here. Obviously, I wish this was a little more clear, but we're going to have a pulling guard into a power look here. We're going to kick out number 4. We're going to double the linebacker at the next level, which is exactly what we do. Look at where the head of the defender is. So where should we be cutting? Off of the ass of, I think this is the guard or the H-back, off of his ass, and we just try to push through straight to the head of the defender with the closing corner there. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. Again, it's a split-second thing. Maybe he doesn't see him right away because he's a lineman in front of him. There's a lot of factors in there. But even on the back view, you still can see his, I mean, again, it's also behind, not in front. It's clear as day to me that you see his hat right here as a running back. Cut off the ass. Maybe just get stripped up. Again, nitpicking. I understand it's nitpicking, but nitpicking is what you have to do when you're looking for NFL prospects. Here we go. Here's a quick screen release play. Way to make a move at the first level, get to the next level. This is probably what is going to be utilized a lot for at the NFL levels. Quick screens, get him out in space. This exaggeration on the jump cut is insane. But as you can see, one thing about Emmett that I've seen a lot of is like his running stature is very wide for his size. Normally see guys 200 come out and be very quick-legged with the running motion. He runs with his arm out almost every single time when he jukes or cuts, and his base always is wide in preparation to either cut or move somewhere, which isn't a bad thing. But when you're a smaller, agile back, I feel like you want to be almost leaner in that sort of a sense. You're not the bruiser. You're not the guy that's going to be really breaking a ton of tackles. So I'm intrigued to see how that ends up working out in the future and what, I mean, obviously he gets picked at, but it's just something to note that I've seen a lot of. This is another play right here. Next play, right? Way to break that first tackle to get to that next level. It's not a lot, but he does break the first tackle a lot of times, so that is a very good note for him moving forward. Again, you're going to see him out of the slot. He is a good route runner. This is going away from him, but the fact that you're able to utilize him in the slot is an advantage. You see, guys, we've already done the Jonah Coleman. I don't think aligned in the slot more than maybe 2 times. When you can have a running back that can be a threat in the slot, that is a big advantage. Good play, but again, this is going to be a great example of wide legs running high, what is going to happen to you. Great burst through the hole. This hole, if he misses this one, I would end up losing my mind. But he doesn't miss this one. Wide as day, very high, ends up getting absolutely smacked because of it. It's something that's the reason being, right? He does this cut right here. What is this cut going to do when you're trying to almost hurdle somebody and you have the wide base? You're going to be naturally very high up. You're going to be naturally very high up and allow yourself to get smacked. Great hit by number 6. But overall, good run. We take those 10 yards every single time. All right, here we go. Next play on film. This is against USC. So we went from best. Now we're at the worst rushing grade. 130th in the country USC was. They were quite literally awful. Better vision here, right? Sees 23 on the opposite side. Legs are still super wide. Look at where his foot's angled. Like, it's just odd to me, like how wide his feet get. I've truly, it's very rare you see something like this. Like, look how wide his base is when he cuts. Like, it is nuts. Great. I mean, hey, it's fine. You get square to the line. You can see 23. You find the hole. You explode through it. Not a bad play overall. Still runs a little bit high for being 200 pounds, but hey, we'll live with it at the end of the day. It's a good gain. Now, here's where we see, first off, I love the black unis out of Nebraska, but here's where we see some better plays, right? The hole's a bang, right? Again, bang, bounce back. What are we looking for? And we see it wide as day. That wide receiver, elite block, way to clear him out. Ends up breaking the arm tackle on the first level, ends up getting through, makes a pretty good spin there to gain some yards. Now, here's a great break tackle play. It's not a great highlight for the defense, but again, this is the advantage of having wide feet, is you're able to sometimes get away with breaking arm tackles like this. This is just horrific defense by USC. Like, what the hell is going on here? How have you not tackled him 3 times? Just diving at ankles and praying. Horrific, horrific. But also, when you look at this, this way, what are we missing? He tries to cut back through this sliver, right? That you have to remember, this lineman's also getting doubled, right? So he's going to be free on this right side. He tries to cut back through this sliver. Look right in front of you. Just take the 4 or 5 yards. Your wide receiver's crack blocking down. Take the 4 or 5 yards. You'll see it on film. It's there. I promise you, I'm not just bullshitting. If he doesn't slow up at the line, I promise you it's right in front of his face. Run! Straight. It's a bang. It's a bang. It's a bang. See it, hit it. See it, hit it. Why are you cutting? Why are you cutting? Sorry, I'm getting mad. But like, just actually, maybe he sees the free hand here and is worried. He's literally getting double teamed. He's literally getting double teamed. You have this crack block. If he hits this on time, this motherfucker gets cracked and he's through. And 17's been ass this entire game when you watch it. And 24 is 20 yards back when they're running the ball. Why they're 130th in defense, in rushing defense. Great play nonetheless at breaking tackles and gaining a few. Here's another one. Way to break some tackles. The USC team is so undisciplined, it pisses me off to watch them. But overall, way to hit the hole when it's there. Way to hit the hole when it's there. This is the improvements we like to see, right? Now, this is the advantage to having him, right? Again, you could put him out in motion. You could fly him out. You could take a DB out of the way. And it sets up a one-on-one. So this is the advantage to have. He is a great receiving threat, which is nice to have. I just am concerned at his running ability, which I think will limit him at the next level. Because, again, we look at this. It's just like, stop pitter-pat. Like, for the love of God, hit the hole. Why are you juking into a defender? It is beyond me. It is beyond me. Like, if I'm the running back coach, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs to come right off the ass. As an RB, you have to shave the ass of your guards and tackles. Because if you shave the ass of your guard and tackle, you're not pitter-pattering here. You are full. Like, you look at Jahmyr Gibbs run the ball. And the reason I use Jahmyr Gibbs all the time because he's one of the purest runners we see. Watch how close. Him and Bijan do the same thing. Watch how close they get to their linemen's butt cheeks. They're almost scraping them with their hips. They're that close. Devon Achane does the same thing. These elite running backs that are young and coming up that all do the same. Any elite back you see will be at the tailcoats of every single lineman they have. Because especially at the next level, these holes go from this wide to this wide. And you have to be right on the ass of that lineman. And instead, we are juking into the back of the defender. I cannot. I get them freeze framing it, and it's easier to say than it is to do. I completely understand. I completely understand. And there's a lot of times that I'm wrong. But in these scenarios, you are losing the opportunity to gain an extra 3 yards by juking into your defender instead of putting your nose to the grindstone and running through a motherfucker or running right next to him. Because guess what? A lot of times when you run off the ass of your tackle or guard, guess who also gets picked? The linebacker trying to come across the field, because guess where he loses you? Behind the tackle. I digress. Now here's a great play. We like to highlight the great ones, right? Clear as day cutback lane. Couldn't have it clearer, and he hits it. That's what you love to see. Make a play. Way to get moving. Way to keep the legs churning. That's what you like to see. That is a good highlight play. That is how you gain the chunk of 1,400 yards. Wide as day, clear reads, easy holes to hit. Just don't fuck it up. Make good plays when they're available, and he did that there. And plays like this actually might piss me off more than the last one did. And it's not that I don't like this man or I have nothing against this man, but you are 199 pounds. You are made for speed. That is your shtick, is receiving and speed. That's your shtick. If I freeze frame it right here, where do you think he should go, brother man? I mean, I can't draw it up anymore. I can't draw it up anymore. It is a linebacker that was playing pressed. So you have a linebacker on you, chasing you down right here. He doesn't have the angle. Let's be real. But we full stop. Full stop. And try to do a cutback. And we just, all momentum's lost. All speed, all momentum, gone. Beat him with speed. You're outside. Why are we cutting? I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Now here's a great play. Receiving, get out of the backfield. Ooh, good cut. Get up the field. Why? Okay, that's fine. We'll take a few extra yards. Way to make a play. But this is what he's going to be good for, right? Out of the backfield. Get up the field. His cuts are so exaggerated, but they work, right? And we're up the field. Way to make a play. That's a good play. First off, here's a touchdown, right? Let's shout out this offensive line. And I like to do this in segments too, because these brothers deserve it. First off, holding like a motherfucker. But look at what happens. Pancake. He's on his ass. Boom. Number one. This is what great blocking is, right? Pancake number one leads to pancake number two and pancake number three. Sit down! Then we find our way into the end zone as an easy walk-in. You'll love to see. Here's the wide view, right? Here's an easy, again, If you do the easy things right, you have more confidence in a guy, right? Let's just do the easy things. The hole is right there, clear as day. Just going for arm tackles on the other side. Horrific, number 19. You should be cut from the roster. Like, what is this effort? I literally could not tell you. First off, horrible angle that you bit at. Second off, make the play. Lead with the right shoulder. You're giving up by doing this. Great play, Emmett. Way to get in the end zone. See, this is what I expect more out of him. This next play for Emmett is a great one, right? We hit the hole with speed. That's what we want to see. Faster, right? You're 199 pounds. I know you keep saying it, but you got to utilize the speed, right? Hit that bitch fast. You see it, attack it. Good play. All right, last game. This video is getting way too long, so we'll cut this one short. This is Northwestern, right? Let's just take a few plays from Northwestern. Let's see what he's got. Now, again, Northwestern's ranked 91st in the country. I mean, holes wide as day, able to get through there. Again, we like the explosion here, right? Against Northwestern team that we know we have an advantage up front against. Way to make a play. See, this is what we could see more of from Emmett, and you love to see this, right? There's nothing there. You're faster than everyone else on the field. At least that's your shtick, right? Outrun them. Block in the back like a motherfucker coming down. Watch 13 here. That is... I don't think they call it either. That's insane. But nonetheless, beat him with speed, Emmett. Like, use it to your advantage. Again, look at his waddle, though. Like, when he runs, like, watch this. It's like he's almost, like, looking to cut. Watch it. Boop, 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 as he runs. Kind of interesting. Just something to note. Wow, this is insane. This is gashing Northwestern. This is nuts. Look at the holes that he has to run through. Like, obviously, there's nothing up front. Oh, no, I'll play from the beginning. Like, obviously, they're in a 5-man, dude, like 4 up. Like, you're running this every single time. Look at this. They have 2 deep in a 2-by-2 formation. Like, what are we doing? We're running it every single time. We get to the next level, and he is nothing but daylight here. First guy misses, and it's just, it should have been off to the races, but it wasn't, but it's fine. Right? I mean, 5-man box, we're running on that every single time. Tries to spin back. There's nothing really there. Overall, it's a good run. And here's a reason I struggle to believe that he's going to be able to be that power back is, like, even in low, like, goal line, like, this is clearly a 3rd and 4th and 1, like, nose down, low, and look how high he still is. Like, he just runs high. That is a concern. That was, like, my number 1 concern with Caleb Johnson, was when you run high, it's really hard to get a ton of power. Like, I don't know if this game's even worth going over. Look at this damn hole. Like, this is insane, dude. Like, brother has 15 yards between the next guy that's near him. Gets tripped up early. Let's see the wide view of it. Can he avoid him? Oh, my God. I mean, if we're just looking. Sheesh. You're on the boundary, kid. I mean, it's a little late now, but, I mean, just saying. Overall, that's really it. I can't go over too much of this because it's already such a long video. But overall, this is the kind of narrative I look for. Like, stats will tell you this guy's elite. He's better at this. He's better at that than a lot of NFL players. He's caught this many passes. He's done this. Let's look at the film and really break it down. What does their vision look like? How do they fit in a lot of run schemes? I really think Emmett Johnson is going to have to go to a perfect fit for him to be a true fantasy contributor one day or a true great NFL running back. I think he'll be a great complement 3rd down back. But that's not what you're looking for when you're drafting dynasty stuff or when you're looking for, like, that workhorse back to draft high in those dynasty drafts. I overall think Emmett's very disappointing when it comes to actually running the football when he doesn't have these gashes of holes, when that's not going to happen very often, if almost at all, in the NFL. So those are my main concerns, is him actually running the football. As a receiver, I think he could be a great option. He's a solid pass blocker, but overall I'm a lot lower than consensus on Emmett Johnson. We're going to have a lot more reviews going over a ton of new players. My next video is going to be a banger. It's about Jeremiah Love. Can't wait for that to come out. If you want to see that, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, all that sort of fun shit down below in the comments, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.